So, so I'm still sitting over here at Dunkin's drinking my water. I invited a guy to church. He said he had been dealing with some homelessness that just happened. He was a mechanic on wheels, and then something happened. So I talked to him. I invited him to church. You know what? This is something I hope, as I look for help, I can give it to other people is usually what I do. And I told them about the resources I've looked into and the jobs available and everything. But I called a organization, and it was a church organization. And it said, hey, up until I get on my feet a little bit more, and I am driven, but I'm like, food stamps are going to be a next week for me, and that'll just be a one-time deal. But I'm like, until I get on my feet, what do you have available? So just ask, and they had to ask me some questions, and they said, what's your highest, people will usually say, what's your highest level of education? So, I have had questions like that, like when I used to go to fuel assistance, they'd be like, what do you do for work? I'm like, well, I'm a mother, and the hardest job ever, right? I'm a mother and I'm a homemaker. No, what do you do for work? I'm like, that's what I do for work. Well, that doesn't count. So I would put it down anyways, and I would stick up for myself and say, look, I work harder than most people being a mom, so don't tell me it doesn't count. But, it was an income. I mean, it did save money, but it was an income. So I'm like, okay, so highest grade of education. Let's see, I graduated early from high school. I went to college. I didn't finish because I didn't want it. Then I graduated from hairdressing school. I didn't say while I was pregnant. Let me see, homeschooled for years, but we won't count that, I said. So just, just that. So some of these questions are really like in the box. So try to think outside the box too when you get help. Ask different questions. I just, at one of my jobs, I said, hey, I could use, okay, so like I said, I have 5 jobs, including my cleaning business I'm trying to get going too. So, but one of my jobs, I'm like, the hours are not as strong as I want them to be. So I'm like, well, see if you can transfer, and work at another one too. Not transfer, but like go in between the companies. And I'm like, yeah, I'll try that. So, yeah, they are going to see about having me go to different franchises and, work at different ones. So that's another way to get more hours. If one particular franchise doesn't have the hours, go in between, Sometimes they let you do that. They let you pick up at different stores that are connected. So that's I think about what I got for today, guys. I am going to try, after this paperwork is put in at another place, I'm going to try to, I'll Uber over to my night job and try to get some sleep before the night starts. And just, if you have to break up your sleep with 2 hours here, an hour here, 3 hours here, that still works. Squeeze it in.